how are you today?
Hi, hello. How are you?
It's good to see you again.
Thank you very much. Good to see you too.
Yeah, so how have things been since I saw you last?
Well, not that well. Almost the same.
Oh, I sense some apprehension. What's going on?
Yeah, I remember that I told you that I told my husband that I wanted to go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
And he seems like, well, he says yes, he's going to support me, but actually his behavior is like he's not.
Oh, like what do you mean by that? What's he doing?
He's not communicating with me. He's not talking like before, and he always said criticized me about you're too old to go. Yeah,
He tells you you're too old to go to school.
Yeah. He's you're supposed to be home when I come home.
Right.
Things like that. Just he's a very traditional guy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And how does that make you feel?
Sad. Very sad and very anxious, because going back to school is something that I really want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been wanting to do that?
To go back to school?
Mm-hmm.
Since forever.
Forever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did he know that? Does he know that?
He knew me that when he knew me, when we get married, he knew I was taking some classes getting ready.
Mm-hmm.
So I took some classes before, and I always wanted to be a publicist.
Mm-hmm. Well, how come you stopped taking classes at that time?
Because I get married.
So you quit going to school when you got married?
Yes, to get married. Yeah, to start the family. And I agree with that, because, family is first.
Right.
Okay, and it's always been my priority. And then I got pregnant, and I got my son. He's being and he's going to be my priority always. But now he's out of home. He's so, he's 22 years old. He's already graduating from a university. He's going to be an architect.
Oh, that's excellent. Great.
And but he left home maybe 3.5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And since then, it's like my house is empty.
Oh,
it's so sad because my husband goes to work, and I stay home doing what? Just doing household.
Yeah. Do you have other activities? Anything else that you're interested in?
Actually, I go visit my mom, but it's going to school that I want to do. I know it's always been
It's always been your dream.
And I put it aside. It's okay, but now it's my time.
Okay. So did you recently bring this up to him, or what perpetuated this? You can tell he's not talking to you.
Okay. The first time that I mentioned it, maybe a year ago, and he started acting the same thing. But eventually, maybe he thought she forgot. Okay, because I don't like to feel that way. Yeah. But and then maybe 6 months ago, I talked again. I said, you know what? And I said, okay, I support you, but you think about it. It's not going to be easy for you. You're too old for this. And what your family is going to say? Things like that with your friends. And I don't care.
When he says, what do you think your family will say? Would they have a problem with it?
Because they're thinking the same thing.
That
you need to be home, taking care of your family.
Okay.
Traditional, okay. Yeah. He's the man who supports the family. The wife is to stay home cooking.
And you're not content with that?
I did that enough.
Okay, you're ready for something else.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm not going to continue doing it, but I need to do something for myself. Okay. And sometimes I sad. I feel sad because he knew. Yeah. He knew these things. He knew. Yeah.
What do you suppose would happen if you did it? If you did go to school, do you think he would eventually get over it?
I don't know. He's very, very traditional.
Yeah.
So traditional that I don't know what money we have in the bank, because he does everything.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so and so I don't know. I probably yes, probably no. and that is my conflict right now.
So you're feeling conflicted.
Yeah, because if I don't do it, I know it's like a conforming.
Right. So you're on one hand you want to go to school and you're ready for something else. You're ready to fulfill this dream that you've had for. I don't know how long you say you've had.
Actually,
you've always had it.
yes, we've been married for 30 years now.
Okay. And he knew it, but you're feeling conflicted because even though he says he supports you, you're feeling, you sense that he's not real thrilled with the idea.
Well, at the beginning, is a kid. My son was there. I know.
Right.
He was there. My life was that, taking care of him. And now, what else? I don't feel.
Do you have anybody that supports you in it?
Not at this point.
No. Your family? No. They're pretty traditional as well?
Yes.
Okay. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how important is school for you, with 1 being not at all important and with 10 being very important?
Probably 7.
7. Okay. So that's pretty important.
Yeah, that was my dream.
Right.
That I was willing to put it aside to start my family.
Yeah.
And he knew that. And now that I'm going back, I want to go back and continue. I know, 52 years old, and it's going to be tough, but I don't care. I'm willing to try, at least to try, to see if I can do it.
Well, raising kids is tough, and you got through that.
Yes, yeah.
So if you can do that, you can do school.
Hopefully, yes. That's my hope, that I can do that sometimes. And it's not because of the income. He makes enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's those traditional values that he thinks he's most comfortable with, a wife who stays home.
And I'm thinking because it's like gaining my independence a little bit. Going, if I go work.
Is that a little bit of it for you too? That feeling that,
I have to ask for everything.
Okay.
And I know he's provides everything, don't get me wrong, he's good.
Yes.
He's a very excellent father. He's been an excellent husband. I don't have any complaints. But in that area, it's like
conflict. So let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you kind of a strange question, okay? And I just want you to, really exercise your imagination. Okay. So what if you went to sleep tonight, just like everything is, and in the middle of the night, while you're sleeping, some miracle happens where your husband is completely supportive, your family's supportive, your problems are gone, but you don't know it when you wake up in the morning. You don't know that miracles happened. What would be the first thing that would tell you that something's different?
Okay, I think I will see. First of all, I will feel complete.
But you wouldn't feel that because you wouldn't know anything's happened yet.
But I don't feel complete right now. So I think if that happened, I will feel complete. Okay, as a person. I will see a lot of books.
But how would you know that a miracle had happened?
Because of that.
Because you feel complete.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something is missing right now.
And what else would be different? You'd feel complete, and
his attitude towards me.
Your husband's attitude towards you. What would that be like?
More. He has always been very caring, very but right now it's like he built a wall between us.
Okay, there's a little bit of distance.
Yeah, his distance is not communicating as before.
So that problem's gone. So how would he be acting now?
Like before.
Okay.
Like before I told him.
Okay, describe that.
Very. Sometimes he cook for me. Bring me breakfast to my bed.
Aww.
He helped me with chores sometimes. And when he comes home, he talks to me what happens, and always doing something for me, give me something, flowers, things like that. Since I asked him, and I didn't ask him, I communicate that I wanted to go back.
No,
it's not happening.
Okay, I can see why you would miss that.
Yeah. And I miss it, but at the same time, I feel that he's been Oh, I don't know if I'm the selfish of him. I don't know. That's my conflict right now.
Yeah. So, back to the miracle, what else would you notice, or who else would act differently? Anything else?
My family.
Your family?
Yeah,
what would be different there?
Or my parents.
Uh-huh.
Because my dad is worse.
Oh, okay.
Okay, my dad is worse than my husband.
Yeah.
And my mom, because of my dad, and you need to stay home.
So how would they act differently?
They would be, they would see it as a normal.
Okay.
Normal that a person, adult, go back to school, being a Hispanic woman, go back to school to.
What would they say? What would they do that would be different?
They will be proud of me.
They'd be proud of you.
Right now, I've been criticized a lot.
How would you know they were proud of you? What would they do? What would they say? What would their actions be?
Well, I imagine, okay, because I don't know. I imagine that they will say, okay, how you doing? How's school going? When are you going to graduate? What is going to happen? What are you going to do with your diploma? Things like that.
Yeah.
And just to say that I'm proud of you.
Yeah, that would feel good.
Because that would be the first. Actually, we are the first generation in this country, and the first one to graduate from college. Okay.
Has there ever been? I want you to think back a little bit. Has there been a time where you felt that they were proud of you, that they were happy with you, that you've had those feelings that you're missing?
When I was young.
When you're young.
We came. Actually, I took some classes in El Salvador. I started there.
Yeah.
And because I was young, I wasn't married, and I was like, you're allowed to do it. You do all that before you get married.
Okay.
Because once you get married, it's your family.
Okay.
Okay, and we came here in 1987, and I took some English classes. I went back. I took some college classes, but then I met him, hoping that he was going. I know that my family expected me to graduate first and then get married. Okay, but now I decided to get married and leave my studies aside.
Right.
And now it's too late.
Right.
It's too late for me, according to them.
So I can see that it's very important to you to go back to school. I can also see that your family is very important to you, and that you want their approval and you want them to be on board with you.
Yes.
You don't just want their approval; you want them to accept that you're going to school and think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And so, what do you think it would take to get there? Is there anything that would maybe change things?
I don't know. The only way that I think is to do it and find out.
To do it, okay.
And find out if eventually, if they see me happy, probably they will. But my husband is something else. I am really, I don't know if my marriage is going to be affected, because he feels, because this means independence for me.
Right.
Be more independent.
Do you think he's a little bit afraid of that?
He's traditional.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Traditional men are like that. They like to be asked. They like to be. They know everything about you. And it's not like I'm not going to say it, but to have my own things. You know, but what's the purpose right now? I'm home doing household tasks. I don't want to do it anymore. It
sounds like you could be doing so much more.
Yes, my son is out already, so yeah. So I'm just trying to think here. Has there ever been a time that there was something your husband didn't really want you to do, especially that might not have been traditional, but you did it anyway, and maybe had a good outcome on that? No, because I was conforming with it. Because that's, I was happy. Okay, I didn't need anything. I didn't have to know things like where to pay this, where to pay that. But lately, I've been thinking, what was going to happen if something happens to him? What am I going to do?
Have you ever voiced that to him? That
yes, and he said, "Yeah, I will show you that everything is going to be okay." But up until now, I haven't seen anything. I see that with my grandma. When my grandpa passed, she was blind. She didn't know where even to pay the gas.
Yeah.
She didn't know anything.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing me now doing that, and I don't want to.
Okay, so you're trying to plan ahead and
Yeah.
and not have that kind of problem. Yeah. How about your son? What does he think about it?
I talked to him once, and he was but he's so busy right now. I don't want to say anything. I want him to.
But you think he would be supportive of it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be following in his footsteps. That would be kind of.
Hopefully, because to see he has an example in his dad. His dad is really excellent dad. So I really hope that he will support me.
Yeah. But I think he would.
Yeah, he saw his dad doing this, and I was happy until he left, and I said, okay, it is time.
It is time
for me, and it's not happening.
Yeah. What has that been like for you? Staying home. How does that make you feel?
I like to stay. Don't get me wrong, but I get bored. I get really bored doing the same thing every day.
Do you have
cooking, washing dishes?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
You can do it anyways, but I need to do something more. It's not like I'm not going to do it.
Right.
Okay, but I need something more.
Yeah. Okay. So, I don't even know where to go with this, you guys. I think I'm done.
Okay. But you have enough, yeah.
You have enough because I said it for 20.
Oh!
And I didn't want to I didn't want to even